And we are live.
Woo!
Hey everybody.
Does your dog have fleas?
Welcome to session 3 of the Ukulele Club. Woo!
Nice. I was thinking that we should have a cheer.
Yes.
You know, or something.
Sure.
Which is, you know, like, we yell, does your dog have fleas? And everybody goes, my dog has fleas.
Oh, I see. Let's do that together
okay.
now. Hang on. Let me just log into the, because I forgot to do this last time. Let me just log into the library page to make sure we're following this stream.
Because we're super professional here.
Life is but a stream.
Rarely.
We're still. Here we are.
Yep, there you are.
Oh, and we're okay, and we are live now. Okay, I tuned in to the stream in progress, so that's even better.
Well, there's going to be some kind of horrible flirt accident thing.
No, we're all. It's all good. We're fine.
Does your dog have fleas?
My dog has fleas. Big finish.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, we ready to do rock and roll?
I think we are. Yep. All right. Hey everybody, this is Ukulele Club live at the Wood County District Public Library, coming to you from an undisclosed location.
With cats.
With excellent,
maybe good cats.
Excellent lighting and cats. Let's see, I would like to point, what was I going to point out? Here's what I was going to point out. This is a live stream. Right now, as I'm saying this, it's a live stream. You might be able to watch it later as an archived video on Facebook or on YouTube
like
or whatever.
Like as if it was Gilligan's Island or something.
Yeah. But right now, it's a live stream. And Mary Boone is watching. Hello, Mary. So one of the things that I just wanted to say is if you are indeed watching live, anytime during the next 25 minutes or so would be a great time if you have a question. If you have a question about anything that we're specifically talking about or doing or practicing during this session, or if you have a general question about ukulele playing or music or whatever, feel free to enter it in the comments below this video or beside this video or however you've got it formatted on your screen. And we'll take a look at those questions a little bit later on in the session and try to answer them for you. It is officially 2 o'clock, so this is our gathering song, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, C7.
Oh, I thought you wanted to play it in D.
Oh, you're right. My bad. We're gonna do this in D today because that's better for me. So, in case you don't remember your D7 Hawaiian D7 chord from last week, it's the 2nd fret on the 2nd and 4th strings. So this 2nd string from the floor and the 4th string from the floor. Put a finger on each of those at the 2nd fret and you should get something like this. This is assuming we've tuned up in advance. Let's just take a moment to make sure we're pretty close in tune. Here's the string closest to your nose, the G. Here's the C, here's the E, and the A.
I'm gonna fix your A. That's my A. Okay, I feel happy.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's our Hawaiian D7 chord from last week. 2nd fret on the 2nd and 4th strings, and it should sound like this. Make sure you're pretty close to this. And here we go. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in the street there was violence, and then a lot of work to be done. No place to hang out the washing, and then I can't blame all on the sun. Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we take it higher Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we take it higher. Out in the street, out in the street, out on the live stream, out in the night. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we take it higher. Keep going. So as always, you have choices about how you want to play this. This is one of the things I like to do. Or down and then up. In case you're just joining us, feel free to keep playing your D7s. Or your Z. As I welcome you officially to this third session of the Wood County District Public Library Ukulele Club. After this live stream is over, check out the library's website, which is wcdpl.org. And on the e-media page, under the e-media tab on that homepage, you can find ebooks and audiobooks about how to play the ukulele, among other things. You can find recordings of ukulele music, among other things. And you can even get a temporary library card in case you don't already have one. Also from wcdpl.org, so check that out.
You're so good at all those WCD.
I'm reading. I've been practicing for a couple of years, and I'm reading it right now. I would not trust myself to remember it without a script necessarily on a live program. Hello, David. Hello, Mary. Hello, Kelly. Hello, everybody else who might be out there. When you're learning a musical instrument, whether it's the ukulele or the recorder or the bassoon or what have you, there's a lot of things you can do on your own, at your own pace, a lot of practicing, a lot of woodshedding. You can do a lot of this, figuring out the notes, making sure your fingers are in the right place, making sure the instrument's in the right position.
Don't do this.
Yeah. Keep the instrument facing forward. This hole is where the sound comes out of, so that should be facing straight ahead when you play. It makes everything sound better. I know you might want to listen to it yourself, but if you tip it up like this, your fingers get all wrong, and it doesn't sound as good. So there's a lot of things you can do on your own, at your own pace. There's a lot of things that you can do with a private teacher. What we can do here with this live stream and what we're trying to do each week is do some things, share some ideas about ukulele playing and some ideas about music that will be useful and fun for you, we hope, whether you're a beginner or not a beginner. And we hope we can make some real music together, regardless of whether you're a beginner or a non-beginner, or like me and Sheri, non-beginners at quite different levels with different kinds of skills. We can benefit from playing together, regardless of what individually we can do or we can't do. When we're together, we're greater than the sum of our parts. Hello, Kyle. Hello, Kate. Hello, everybody else who might be just joining. One more verse and a chorus of our opening song, and then we'll get to some other stuff. So if you're just joining us, we're playing D7. Now you can play a regular D7 if you know it. Feel free. If you were with us last week, you might remember the Hawaiian D7, which is just two fingers, one on the second string, one on the fourth string. Out in the street, out in the street, out in the daytime, out in the night. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher, big finish.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, that was... I didn't mean to do that one. I meant to do that one.
Oh, it's still good though.
Repetition legitimizes. This is a lesson I learned from Adam Neely.
Yeah, you just, yeah.
Repetition legitimizes. That's how I meant to end it. So, that's enough of me talking. Sheri, you want to talk to us about some transitions, right?
I do want to talk to you about transitions, and I also want to remind you that there's a lot of right things that you can do. There are very, very few wrong things to do on a ukulele. There are a lot of right things you can do. So when I was zetting over here, you could just do this if you want, or you could do all kinds of other things. We'll talk more about right hand stuff later, but there's all kinds of right things you can do. So we'd like to talk a little bit about jumping between chords, because jumping between chords is the thing that people worry about a lot. And the secret for getting from one chord to another is to go there before you need to be there. So get all set and ready so you don't have to go, it's time to change the chord! Ah! And you don't want to make that noise ever when you play. It hurts you. So while you're playing the chord before the change, you're thinking, I'm going to have to change this pretty soon. So where do I want my hand to be? Oh, over that. Okay. Which fingers do I want to have ready? So we're going to go between C's and F's. C's and F's. So you know, to make a traditional C chord, you just need one little finger on the 3rd fret of the string closest to the floor. It sounds beautiful, right? Now it's very tempting.
That'll be the note.
It's very tempting to use it with your index finger, right? Because it's your big strong finger, and it seems like it's a good idea. But you have to think about where you're going to go after the C chord. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go to the F chord. Now, if I leave my index finger there, I've got to make this jump. I've got to take up my index finger, bam, move him all the way over to the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and then take my middle finger and stick him all the way on the 2nd fret of the string closest to my nose. And that's a lot of work. And the ukulele should not be a lot of work. So, what I'm recommending to you, because you know what song you're going to play before you get started, right? Mostly? Well, I guess that's not universally true. It's not universally
Sure, yeah.
true. Okay,
Sure.
Pretend like you know what the heck you're doing, okay?
We know, yeah.
Okay,
We have all kinds of plans.
So I'm going to recommend that you take your ring finger, your poor little wimpy ring finger, which needs your love and attention because he doesn't get a lot of love and attention. You're going to put him down on the 3rd fret of the strings to make your C string. And I know that feels weird, but the reason you're going to do this is because you're going to move to F. And when you move to F, you're going to just put an index finger down on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and then you're going to add the middle finger on the 2nd fret of the string closest to your nose. And then you can pick up your ring finger when you're good and ready.
Or you could leave it there, I guess.
Yeah, you can. You can do whatever you want.
That note works with the F chord too.
Yeah. So again, go back to the C. Just go back to the C. Use your ring finger. Don't defy me. I know you're thinking, I'm going to use my middle finger and index finger because I can. It's easier. Do not defy me. I'm right.
Another way to think about this is
I want them to think about not defying me for a little while.
Don't defy Sheri. Never defy Sheri. Another way that might make it easier for you not to defy Sheri is think about, your pinky finger is kind of weak, and it's not connected very well in terms of muscles and tendons and stuff. It's for some of us, it's kind of wobbly. It's not a great finger for pressing frets down, so we're mostly using these first 3 fingers. And if you just put your index finger on the 1st fret and your middle finger on the 2nd fret, then your ring finger naturally falls on the 3rd fret, and then you're in a kind of a handy general hand position for whatever else you're going to do if you've got a finger on each fret.
It also sets you up to do. That's fun to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe you can do it this fast.
We're going to talk about scales and picking melodies in a minute. first we're going to talk about going between this C chord and this F chord. And then notice how your ring finger is just sitting here doing nothing. He's all ready to go back on that little fret right there. And if you miss, just pull it back over. It's all fine. And also, if you even though we're talking about just taking your time, still you might be strumming away and you might not get there in time. And you know what happens if you don't get there in time? Nothing! Because you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So the ideally, 5, 6, 7. Ideally, you keep the rhythm going because this is where you build speed. So I would not go. But you can strum while your fingers are in transition. It actually sounds cool when you do that. So if I do this, here's me not strum. Here's me with an open strum on 8. I'm gonna play 8 of these guys. 2 measures of C, and then I'm gonna go over to the F. 1, 2, 3. Thinking about 5, where I'm going. 7. I'm gonna go back in a minute. 6, 7. We're just gonna do this for a while. So you go into a trance. Back to C. And here we go to F and F. Oh, I feel so peaceful already. Here we go to the F. Go back. Boom. I only have to sing one note. That note right there.
And meanwhile, if you're me and you want to make things a little bit easier for yourself, there's a couple of ways of doing that. One is you can go from this regular C with your 3rd finger to the 1 finger F chord that we've talked about before, where you just put 1 finger on the 2nd string and you leave the 4th string alone, and then you get a kind of cool sounding F chord with an extra note in it.
Right-hand stuff later.
Also, if any of this is still going too fast for you, you can play twice as slow. Strum, strum, strum.
I'm putting myself in a trance here. This is so nice. Okay, that was beautiful. One of the great things about having 2 people playing ukuleles together is you can play different things. You can play different rhythms, like we were just doing. Also, one person can play lead. You can make a little melody on one ukulele and have your other friend play the chords. And so I'm going to teach you real quick most of a C scale. And what we're going to do is we're going to go bum, 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 bum. We're not really going to do the bum, bum, unless you want to.
Oh, okay.
So the good thing about this particular scale is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes in it. We're just going up that far.
Oh, okay.
And 3 of them are open strings. So really, you'll have to do 3 things here. So we're going to start on this note, the 3rd string, and we're going to play it open. That's the C. And then I'm going to take my middle finger and I'm going to put it on the 2nd fret of that same string. So I just want you to go back and forth for a few minutes. Go boom, 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 boom. And the next time through, I want you to add the open 2nd string. Bum, bum, bum. Wait, do it again. Bum. Middle finger, open. You only need 1 finger to do this. Open, middle finger, open. One more time. Open, middle finger, next time we go through this, we're gonna add the F on it, which is, you could keep playing if you want.
Okay.
You put me in a trance.
4.
Middle finger open. Now the index finger on that same string. Let's do that again. First fret with your index finger. 3, 4 again. Open, middle finger, open, index finger. We're gonna go ahead and hit the next one next time. Middle finger, open, index finger, ring finger on the 3rd fret right here on this beautiful string.
Which finger did you say?
I'm hitting that with my ring finger.
Okay.
Because it's the 3rd fret and it's my 3rd finger. So we're gonna go. Here we go. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. Middle finger. Open. First finger. Ring finger. 2, 3. Start again. Open. Second finger. Open. Index finger. Ring finger. We'll do it 2 more times, then we'll do something even cooler. Open. Middle finger. Open. Index finger. Ring finger. Go all that whole shmoo all together, and then we're gonna put some chords with it, and you're gonna sound like $65,000.
Wow.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Start in the C. Open. Middle finger. Open. Index finger. Middle finger. Open. One more time. Open. Middle finger. Open. Index finger. Ring finger, open. Okay, now what we're gonna do is Jason is gonna play the same chords we had before, C's and F's, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna just take a rest because we're tired. Then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna take a rest because we're tired. And then when he hits the F chord, we're gonna go bum bum bum, and then we're gonna take a rest because we're tired. And then we're gonna go bum bum bum. Yeah, so you're going to get a nice, we're going to do 8 on the C and then 8 on the F. Here we go. Open, take a rest, do it again. Open, index finger, open. Here he's going to change. Ring finger, open. Index finger, ring finger. Open. Start again. Back to open. Middle finger. Open. And again. Middle finger. Open. Here we go with the index finger. Ring finger. Open. Let's do it again. Finger, ring finger, open. And when you feel confident, you can start adding things. Plausible deniability. Here we go to the F. Ring finger, open. Index. Here we go to the F. Index finger. Ring finger and open. Index. The F will be done. Here comes the F for the last time. Make it count. Play it like you mean it, babies. And big finish. That was lovely. So your job is to talk your friend into doing this. So that you can go. And then because you're a nice person, you'll switch. Right?
And
Partner ukulele.
yeah, and because this is music, man. This is music. You can, as you develop your skills and your confidence, you can do a little bit of what I was doing at the end, which is instead of your regular C, you could play a slightly fancier C with some extra notes in it, or you could play your easy one-finger F chord, which actually sounds cooler than the difficult two-finger F chord. So you can make some choices. If you're the one strumming the chords, you can make some choices about what exactly those chords are going to sound like and how you're going to do them. I even have a fancy F chord that I like up here with an extra note in it. So,
so send us recordings of you guys being awesome in pairs.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
And
For my birthday.
do what's easy and do what sounds good to you, and try some things, and don't be afraid to try some things. And if you're the one playing the tune, obviously you can do fancier tunes if you want. Yeah. And there's a million
hot cross buns. I don't know how to play hot cross buns. You're supposed to play on the black keys of a piano, right? But
yeah, actually, if you leave out the F, you've got a pentatonic scale that you can play a million tunes from around the world with.
Tunes.
Amazing Grace and on from there.
Tunes. Okay, how are we doing? How are we on time?
We're great. What time is it? It's 2:25.
Ah, okay. Time for the blues.
Time for the blues. Okay, so guys, so we've been thinking really hard about this because one of the things that we do in our band, because we all play ukuleles now in our band, but we all started on other instruments before. And one of the things that's really easy to do, usually, for a band is to play the blues. So here's a traditional kind of blues. I'm going to start with the... So you start on this one chord, and then you go to the 4 chord, and you sing the blues, and you go back to 1, and then you go to the 5 chord, and the 4 chord, and back to 1. So here's the thing, most people when they start out on the ukulele, they start out in the key of C, but actually the blues chords in the key of C take a lot of fingers, and they're a little bit complicated to play. So one of the things we figured out is it's easier to play the blues in the key of G on the ukulele. And you start, if you want to do it the easy way, start with this G6 chord that we talked about last week. 2 fingers on, finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st and 3rd string from the floor. It's sort of the mirror image or the side-by-side of that D7 chord that we started with earlier, where your fingers are on the 2nd and 4th strings. So if you've got these two chords, the G and the D7, we might want to have a tuning moment. Everything on the ukulele sounds great if you're tuned up. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. So you got your G6 with 2 fingers, and your D7 with 2 fingers. That one doesn't sound quite as... It still doesn't sound quite in tune on my instrument. Sorry about that. I'm not going to fix it now. But one of the reasons for that is it's actually the same note on 2 different strings. And then they need to be exactly the same, or they sound like they're not exactly the same. So you got those two finger chords. And then you got the C7, which is just one finger on the first fret of the first string. And with those 3 chords, you can play a blues in the key of G. The thing to watch out for is if you're playing G6 the easy way, like I'm going to show you, and your partner is playing G7, that might not sound so great together. So just bearing in mind, eventually your goal will be to probably play the G7 chord or the regular G, but in the meantime, if you and your friend can both agree to play G6, it'll be easier. So here we go. You just play the G for a while, and a little while longer, and now the C, C7, and back to G. Now D, and C, and G.
You can make up any words you want. They don't have to make sense.
C,
You can make them up, you have to sing the same line again,
G,
even though it didn't make sense.
D,
But it's fine, simple rhyme. Ladies and gents,
G.
I can make up a song about Jason. Cause he's just sitting over there.
Now switch to C.
And then I have to sing the same line again. That's okay because he's still sitting over there.
D,
He's real cool. He's
C.
not in school.
G,
But he's sitting on that chair.
G,
If you like the ukulele lady, ukulele lady like you.
now switch to C7,
If you like the ukulele
and back to
lady,
G6.
ukulele lady like you.
Now switch to D7,
And if you like
and then
the
C7,
finger where it's shady,
G.
ukulele lady, look at you.
Did you want to play a tune? Noodle a tune?
Uh,
Or no? Maybe we're not in
I can a little bit. They don't know all of those. We didn't go that far.
Right. So feel free to play along with this. I'm just vamping on G for a minute now because we need a starting point. But feel free to play along with the chords with me. Noodle along with Sherry, or noodle something cool on your own if you're a more advanced player or a more adventurous player. And you can always do some Z to keep the rhythm as well. And you can also do some slow strums. Just strum when the chord changes. Sometimes this is an easy way to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's get ready to switch to C7. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Back to G. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. D. C. And back to G. One more time. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. C. 1, 2,
Do you want to look at the comments while
I have been
we
glancing.
sing about popcorn?
I have been glancing at the comments, and so far there are no questions. But it's not too late. If you have any questions, put them in the comments now. We'll be here for a few more minutes.
I'm going to teach you all a song in the key of G. And I'm going to play a regular G chord and probably regular D chords and a regular C chord because it goes kind of fast. And those are the chords I'm best at. So this is a song about popcorn. And so if your fingers are tired, you might want to choose to just sing. And if you are under the age of 12, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, or physically, here's your part. I go pop, pop, and you go pop, pop. Yeah, just like that. And I go pop, pop, and you go
Pop, pop,
and then I go poppity, poppity, pop.
pop.
Woo! That's your part. And we're going to start on G. And this has got the regular chords. I'm going to slow down a little bit.
I'm playing a G6, and I think it works fine for this, probably.
So I learned this song from a guy named Paul Tinkerhess, who is a certified genius, folk singing, awesome fellow who lives somewhere in Ann Arbor now. He's brilliant. I learned this song from him, and I learned also from him that you should always say when you play a song like this that I'm not sure if it happened exactly that way or this way, but this is a true story. Could happen. I put that popcorn in that pan, yes it did. The heat got hot and it started to pop, but I could not find the lid. Oh no, lots of tempo changes here too. Pop, pop,
Pop, pop,
pop, pop,
pop, pop.
poppity, poppity, pop.
Pop.
Woo! This is the dancing part. Pop diddy, pop pop. Goes pop, pop, popcorn, poppy pop. Pop diddy, pop poppy pop. Goes the pop, pop, popcorn, poppy pop. C, pop, pop.
Pop, pop,
Pop, pop.
pop, pop.
D, poppity, poppity, pop. Woo! Well, it popped right out of that popcorn pan. It popped onto the floor. Filled up my kitchen, filled up my hall. Popped right out of that door singing pop, pop,
Pop, pop,
pop, pop.
pop, pop.
Poppity, poppity, pop. Woo! Poppity, poppity, poppy pop. Goes the pop, pop, popcorn, poppy pop. Poppity, poppity, poppy pop. Goes pop, pop, popcorn, poppy pop. Pop, pop,
Pop,
pop, pop.
pop, pop.
Poppity, poppity, pop. Woo! Well, it soon filled up my whole house, then my neighborhood. People for miles around said something sure smells good. Oh boy! Pop, pop,
Pop, pop,
pop, pop.
pop, pop.
Poppity, poppity, pop. Woo! Poppity, poppity, poppy pop. Goes pop, pop, popcorn, poppy pop. Poppity, poppity, poppy pop. Goes pop, pop, popcorn, poppy pop. Pop, pop,
Pop, pop,
pop, pop.
pop, pop.
Poppity, poppity, pop. Woo! Here comes the moral of the story. So take the small precaution, you'll be glad you did. When
That song didn't used to be in the key of G.
No, it didn't. It's much higher in the key of G.
It's very high in the key of
very high.
G. Or very
I
low.
thought I was probably going to sing it down here, but I was over. You know how it goes. Thank you, everybody. You'll rock. Parents, if you have popcorn all over your house in the form of leaping children, you're welcome.
I'm going to, after we wrap up here, I'm going to put one more comment in with a link to our band website where there is some additional information, and we'll continue to update that a little bit from time to time with more chord charts or links to other cool stuff or whatever. Meanwhile, check out the library website and look around for bears. And if you would like to help us play ourselves off,
Oh, I forgot.
we've got the bear song, which goes C, and then F, and then G, and then C. And if you want to play it the relatively easy way, just do C, F, G, C again. If you want to do it the fancy way, go C, D minor. Oh, no. C, F, G, C, then A minor, then D minor, and G, C to end one more time.
Bears, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everywhere I look, there's bears. Everywhere I look, there's bears. Everywhere I look, go, everywhere I look, go, everywhere I look, there's bears. Ukuleles, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everywhere I look, there's ukuleles. Everywhere I look, there's ukuleles.
Everywhere I look, go, everywhere I look, go, everywhere I look, there's ukuleles.
My dog has fleas. Elephants, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everywhere I look, there's elephants.
Elephants. Everywhere I look, there's elephants.
Toads, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everywhere I look, there's toads.
Toad.
What does toad say? Look, there's toad.
Oh, blah, frog.
Librarians, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everywhere I look, there's librarians. Let's read a story.
Librarians.
Librarians are so great. We love librarians.
Everywhere I look, there's librarians.
Oh, I meant to go. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Librarians, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everywhere I look, there's librarians. Librarians.
Everywhere I look, there's librarians.
Bears, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everywhere I look, there's bears. Everywhere I look, there's bears. Everywhere I look, go, everywhere I look, go, everywhere I look, there's bears.
Big finish.
Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
See ya.
Stay inside. It's cold out there. And there might be